So by the numbers, there are 1.38 billion affected by this pandemic. There's really a disruption when it comes to education. And I've been telling the school, the parents, all the stakeholders that it's going to be a total shift of paradigm when it comes to the teaching and learning process. We are not used to it, students are not used to it. And by the numbers, there are 1.38 billion affected by this pandemic. When they announces that we will be under the ECQ last March 16, the increase of the usage of Schoology, it peaks to 400%. So let's proceed. By the numbers, also in Philippines education, we are 28.4 million numbers of Filipino students affected by this COVID pandemic. And the main challenge for us is that education will not stop. And that's one thing for sure. Education will continue this coming school year. Learning should be continuous amidst this crisis. Uh, Last May or June, in the middle of June, the Department of Education announces that I should say, there are 12 to 15 million already enrolled students, both in public and private school. And it's really a good number. And it keeps on increasing. And by this pandemic, we are also affected because the traditional face-to-face has become impossible due to the cancellation of classes and the imposition of the rule on social and physical distancing. The president pronounces that there will be no face-to-face classes unless there's a vaccine available. That's why institution are encouraged to use virtual learning. That's what we're going to do. Not just virtual learning, we will also be using the blended learning model. What's blended learning? It's a combination of face-to-face classes and combination of online mediated instruction. And we also have other alternative delivery modes of instruction to reach out to their students and ensure quality learning in spite of the situation. More often than not, we will be also transitioning to rainy season. Your signal will not be reliable. You will be experiencing disruption when it comes to connection. That's why we really need to make sure and ensure that we have different modality when it comes to delivery of the instruction. And I wanted to show you our partner school last school year. Yeah. Just really quick. Yes. Just keep on posting to our chat box. Ayan. Thank you for, yan, I'm in, yes. Okay, that's great. Yan. During the presentation, you can ask questions po ah. So ito po yung mga partner schools natin. Okay. So what is Schoology? It's an online platform, the place to communicate or a place to communication and get assignment, get instructional materials. Mute ko lang po ulit yung ating audio. Yan. Okay. So it's a place to communication, for communication, I should say, and get assignments. When we say assignment, it can be performance-based, performance output, written output, audio output, or video output of the students. It is also a place to monitor grades, and most importantly, to track your child's progress all in one place. So definitely, we will be using this Schoology as all-in-one platform in order for us to deliver instruction and in order for the students to answer all of the activities. Because we wanted to avoid to juggle to too many applications. And we wanted to get rid of those things na iba't ibang applications yung ginagamit natin. Okay. So, in a glance, Schoology can be used for what? Courses and content can be delivered in Schoology. Whether it's an instructional video of a teacher, students can browse it. Also, in this platform, student participation can be encouraged and can be collected. We can share materials. It can be a repository of instructional resources. Privacy and security. And Schoology also can integrate almost all of the applications that we are using online. I've mentioned earlier that we wanted to get rid of using too many applications, too many educational resources that the students will be opening to a different tab or browser in order for them to answer quizzes, to answer assessment, to answer instructional materials that the teachers are posting. Because in Schoology, the applications can be integrated. Whether you're using Google Drive, OneDrive, Khan Academy, YouTube, it can be used inside the platform. With over 60,000 educators worldwide, from K to 12 and higher ed institutions, it's being used in nearly 200 countries worldwide and over 20 million users all across country. So there are over 20 million students or users all across country. Not just here in the Philippines, but for almost 200 countries worldwide. So students can, just to give you an idea, clear pa po ba ako? Just to make sure? Or I'm making too fast na po? Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Clear
Thank
po,
you.
clear. Okay.
Okay, thank you for confirming. What students can do in the platform, they can access contents shared by the teachers. So the contents can be in a text format, it can be in an audio format, it can be in a video format. So whatever modality would it be, they can all access the contents shared by the teacher. And most importantly, they will be doing things at home. Teachers will be monitoring them remotely. Excuse me. It's really important to what? For the students to answer assignment, assessment, and test quiz. That's what they can do in the platform. They can also what? See the grades that they are getting every time they are answering the tasks that the teachers are posting. Most importantly, for the assessment, whether it's a formative or summative exam, they can easily see it so that they would know what to do and what to address when it comes to the competencies that we are targeting. Ayan. So there are people, I think they're having issues when it comes to uh, the audio. Yes, yun po. Thank you for helping me. Try to click the audio so that it will be detected by your device or by the laptop that you're using or a desktop. Yes, thank you for helping me out to answer those questions. And in Schoology, students can easily communicate with the teachers. I've mentioned earlier, we will be doing things remotely. In the teaching and learning process, it's going to be a new environment, and it's really important that we have a good communication between teachers and students. They can also collaborate with their classmates. How about the parents? What they can do in the platform? Parents can see the classes your child is enrolled in. You can also see the raw scores from your child's quizzes and assessments, your child's upcoming deadlines and assignments. You will be able to see it. More often than not, some of you are working, some of you can monitor what's happening in the performances of your child. So even you're working, as long as you have a parent account in Schoology, you'll be able to see the upcoming deadlines and also all of the activities of your students. They are overdue. If they have upcoming quizzes, you will be able to give them a message or at least remind them that they need to review something. You can also what? receive school announcement and messages from the teachers. So using Schoology makes it easy for you as a parent to stay involved in the children's or in your child's education. Mute ko lang po ulit yung ating signal. Okay, that's it. The interface of Schoology, it's like a social media platform. It's like a Facebook, a learning environment with the look and feel of social networking sites. But it's really exclusive for educational purposes. We just make it look and feel like a social networking site because no one taught us how to use those social networking sites, but we know how to navigate it. We learned the know-how and the how-tos of those social networking sites I've mentioned. I think this is a YouTube, this is a Twitter, this is an Instagram, Instalink, Facebook. So different social networking site that no one taught us, but we learn how to use it. So the feel and look and the interface of Schoology, it's like a social networking site that is intended for educational purposes. It's also DICT compliant. They mandated and prohibited the use of social networking site when it comes to the delivery of the content, the instructional materials of the teachers, the DICT, and the Department of Education, even the CHED, discourages the use of the social networking site for the submission of materials, for the submission of the output of the students. Schoology, it's also COPA compliant. The COPA means the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Schoology, it's also a member of the ISTE, or International Society for Technology in Education. It's a framework that we are using for students, educators, administrators, coaches, and computer science educators. It's a cloud-based, means it requires internet connection, but just like what I've mentioned, the connectivity and the internet bandwidth that it requires, it's very minimal. So if you will be answering quizzes, you will be submitting audio, video materials, read and output of the students. It only requires 512 kbps up to 1 mbps. And the fact that you can use Zoom right now, that only means you can also use Schoology seamlessly. We also have simplified login for those people who will be forgetting your password. We have QR code. You can just scan it using your iOS or Android devices for you to be able to log in the site. It's also mobile ready. You can download the application. If you're using an Android device, you can download it in a Google Play Store or in the App Store if you're using iOS. But if you don't want to download the application, you can use it. You can use the web-based browser of Schoology. And but it's also mobile ready. But if you don't want to use the application, pwede po kayong mag-log in using the browser of your phone or your laptop and desktop. How about the system requirements? So for the browser, at least you have Firefox, latest version, Internet Explorer 11 Plus. For Windows 8 and previous versions, it should be Internet Explorer 11 and the Firefox latest version. For Windows 10, at least Microsoft Edge. And for Mac, Safari 10 and 11. I think almost all of the computer, you have Google Chrome. Ayan lang naman pinapa-download ko. If you have Google Chrome, you don't need to worry about any compatibility. Even you're using an old specification, an Core 2 Duo specification of the computer, you can still use this one to access the Schoology website. So additional requirements for it, JavaScript, Flash 9, and cookies must be enabled. How about the mobile app requirements? For the iOS, at least, Schoology supports the latest 3 versions of the iOS. To take advantage of all Schoology features, devices must run iOS 11 or above. What if you're not using an iOS version 11 or above? Can you still browse it? Can the students still get the materials that the teachers are posting? Yes. And so for Android devices, Schoology supports the latest 5 versions of Android devices, must run at least version 6. And I think that's a marshmallow version of the Android, the 2015 version or the operating system. So if you're using an Android phone na 2015 ninyo ginamit, Schoology works well with it. So this is the 4 key main features of Schoology. The planning or the PIMA, planning, engage, monitor, and adjust. We really need to make sure that they are engaged, not just engaged, we need to monitor their progress, even they're at home, so that when we were able to monitor what's happening in the teaching and learning process, we will be able to address the learning difficulties of the students by adjusting the materials or the difficulty level that we're giving for our students. So adjust. So Schoology, a Power School United Classroom product. And before we dive deeper to Schoology interface, personalized learning is not a feature, it's an idea. So I'll just be showing you the Schoology website of the school. That is the Schoology website, hcmintal.schoology.com. And you should be able to see yan, the name of the school. Let me just use the drawing tool. Okay. You should be able to see this one in order for you to log in. Holy Cross of Mintal, Davao City. The school will be giving you and assigned the username and the password for you. Yeah. Okay, so the school will be the one who will give you the username and the password. But please take note that this is your school website, hcmintal.schoology.com. That's the URL or the instance for you to be able to log into the website. Okay, so there you go. Now let's dive deeper to what is Schoology. I have here a sample account, a sample parent account, so that you would know. Okay, so I prepared a sample here. Okay, so to give you an idea, I'll be logging in using a parent account, a sample parent account. So parent.demo4, and this is the password. Okay, so this is the parent interface of Schoology. Wherein, after logging in, you will be able to
Sir,
see, yes,
I think hindi po siya naka-flash, sir.
okay,
I don't
wait.
know if sa others po. Yan.
Let me just open it. Okay, can you see it now?
Okay na po, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you for confirming.
Mhm.
Nagsasalita pala ako, nagsasalita, wala palang naka-flash. Anyway, thank you. Okay, after logging in the parent account, I'll just be showing you again. Yan, pakita ko lang po sa inyo. Log out lang po ulit ako. So right now, I'm using our school website. But for you, you will be using your own Schoology website, which is mcmintal, yan, .schoology.com. And then you will be waiting for your school to give you the access code for this one. Oops, HC, not MC. Let me just correct it. Yeah. hcmintal.schoology.com. Okay, wherein you should be able to see this one. Now, you will have your own username and your own password. For example, this is a parent account, parent.demo4, and then the password for this one. Ayan. So after logging in, you will be able to see your name at the upper right corner, and you will be able to see the grades and the attendance of your child. You will also be able to see the overdue, which is really important, that even you're away, that even you're working, you can message your child, the student, to what? To please submit yung mga overdues nila. And most importantly, you will be able to see the upcoming activities of your child. Because monitoring it's really important. And I think you're all aware that we just recently participated in the PISA. Last 2018, we just got the result December 2019. And out of 79 countries, we are 79 in reading comprehension. And we are 78 and 77 in math and sciences. And right now, it's a perfect time for us to be connected, to collaborate, to communicate. The school and home must be connected to each other. Ayan. So by reminding the child of their upcoming activity, it means a lot. For example, in here, ayan, he has an activity or an assessment upcoming. He has overdue, and the parents will also be able to see all of the subjects that the child is enrolled in or are enrolled by clicking the courses. Courses means the subjects that the student is taking. So when we say courses, yan po lahat ng subjects that they are taking. So yan po yun. Wherein, if you will go there, English 7, you will be able to see the materials that the teachers are posting so that you would be able also to remind your child of his upcoming activities and everything. Yung mga pending activities niya. And by default, you will not be able to see the members of the course. So ang makikita nyo lang po yung mga facilitator or mga teachers. And by default, you can only see the activities but you cannot answer. Kasi intended po siya para sa anak nyo lang. Yan. So courses, yan po yung lahat ng subjects that they are taking. So whether a teacher posted an activity, whether it's a performance-based o mga written output-based na activity, you will be able to see it, everything, dyan po. Yan. So kung meron silang link na binigay, meron silang moving nilagay, you will be able to see it there. So lahat po yun. Yan. So pag may mga activities din, you'll be able to see it. Yan. So if your child submitted a work output, makikita nyo din po yan dito. But of course, you will not be able to see yung ibang estudyanteng nag-submit. Okay. So I think we have questions. Ayan. Yes, that's it. Okay, pakita ko naman po sa inyo ang kaibahan ng student view because this is a parent view so that you will have an idea ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng student view at ng parent view. In parent view, you will not be able to see other child or other students, I should say, but in the student's view, ito po yung kaibahan. Yan. So when they check the content or the topics that the teachers are posting, they will be able to see yung sa mga classmates naman nila. And they can also comment. Yan, makakapag-write sila ng comment. So, to give you another idea, sa parents account, you will be able to see then the materials that the teachers are posting. I have said earlier that Schoology, it's a cloud-based. It means it requires internet connection, very minimal, but there are times, yan, rainy season na tayo, there are times that even you wanted to go online, you can't go online because of connectivity issue. So what can you do if you can go online? You can't, I should say. So in Schoology, you can browse the materials that the teachers are posting, and at the same time, students can also download it. Yan, irregular plural nouns that the teachers are posting. Yan yung materials sila for today. And if you don't want to browse it every time you need to go online, pwede nyo po siyang i-download by just clicking the name of that activity. It will be downloaded so that you don't need to go online in order for you to browse that material. Yan, kasi downloaded na siya. Yan. So definitely, ito po yung mga, basically, I should say, ito po yung mga makikita natin. All of the activities, the announcement of the teacher, you'll be able to see it. Pati yung mga overdue and upcoming activities of the child. Ayan. So I think let's just open the floor for our Q&A.
Okay, parents, if ever you have clarifications po, you may ask Sir Patrick para he can answer you at least from Schoology yung sasagot po sa ating mga tanong.
Yes,
You may
yes.
type po your question in our chat box. Ayan na
Ayan.
po.
Question.
Ayan. So,
Question.
so, so meron po
Is this
tayo
a
sa
free
chat
app?
box.
Somebody is talking as well, sir.
Yeah.
Ay,
Is
okay.
this a free app?
Ay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Sir,
Ma'am
is
Lumaad
this
is
a,
asking.
is this a free app?
Yan, it's a very good question. Yes po. To download the application, it's free na po. You don't need to pay for the application. It's free. You can download it if you're using iOS App Store po. Yan. So if you're using Android device naman po, sa Google Play Store, you can download it. But if you don't want to download the application, you can access it po using the instance or the URL of the school. So kahit hindi nyo i-download the application, you can still use it.
Mm.
Then how do we get so the school will give us an account for us to be able to navigate?
Yes, yes.
So it's now our obligation is with the school, right?
Yes, ma'am, right.
Okay. Sige.
Yes po. Yan.
Our student account is on the process po of creation. So once po na available na si student account, automatic na may account na po din kayo, ma'am, sir. So iba po yung kanyang mga login tsaka yung kanyang mga password, iba din po sa inyo.
Thank you po.
Welcome, ma'am.
Ayun. So we also have question. They use the chat box. I just wanted to read it para same page po tayo. Sir, can our kids have or will have a separate session or orientation for this? Yes po,
Yes
definitely.
po.
They will be having their own Schoology orientation, student orientation. We're in. We will be asking them to do a task, to submit an assessment, to participate in a discussion, and also to submit whether it's a video-based output or audio-based output, or it can be a written-based output. We will be asking them to submit those things in order for us to make sure that they know the navigation of the system. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, in connection to what you've said, so the kids will actually have their own schedule for orientation, correct?
Yes, yes,
Before
yes.
13th of July.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yan.
With regards sa ano po sa date ng orientation, we'll just announce po kasi we will be checking if those accounts are ready. Di po kasi ganoon din po kadaling gumawa ng account for kids kasi they are also being grouped as a section even if in the Schoology. Tama po ba, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
So we were given there were names already. Those parents, I think you are one of them who really already decided to have online for students. Some po kasi ay hindi pa nakapag-decide. So we have already submitted the names of these students to so that they can work on with the login credentials for them and for you. For now, I cannot give you the exact day on when we will be meeting with these students para na ay parang dry run. But rest assured that the account is ano na is already in the process of creation right now.
I understand. Pero, ma'am, may I know
Yes
who
po,
I'm
ma'am.
speaking to?
This is Miss Jam po, ma'am, the
Ah,
high
yeah,
school principal.
yeah, correct, Miss Jam.
Yes,
Kasi
ma'am.
you have already decided to launch lessons na to take effect on 13th of
Mm.
July, correct?
Yes po.
Will it be
Yes
all
po.
ready then?
Actually, ma'am, our lessons are ready way back weeks weeks before pa po. But the teachers are, of course, we consider the time element. We consider as well the availability of this account. So if ever po meron tayong delays when it comes to the availability of the accounts, then it's not the fault of the student and it's not also the fault of the parents. So we will be giving a lenient consideration about it. So don't worry po, ma'am. Anyway, we are asynchronous naman po. The lessons will not get lost whenever the student cannot immediately log in to the site. But we will try our best really in the Schoology to give the credentials before po talaga mag-take effect ang full implementation ng class before 13.
Okay, I
Ayun.
understand. Thank you.
Yun.
Kailan po yun, ma'am?
Yep,
Did I
yep.
po? Sige po. Opo, we
Okay.
understand po if ever may mga technicality, something like that, we understand. Syempre po, everybody is, first timer, even us, it's the first time for us to use an LMS. And,
Yeah. Kaya nga po,
na,
nagtaka lang din kasi ako
ano,
because, launching the start of this, school year
mm,
for Holy Cross is July 13th. And I think it's too early because we haven't even prepared everything yet,
okay, with regards
diba?
to the
Like
preparation
systematically,
po, ma'am,
correct?
yeah, I cannot say that we are not prepared. We are already prepared po. The fact lang po that the Schoology account is not yet ready for the students right now.
Yeah, therefore not ready, correct?
It's not us who prepared for the account. It's the Schoology, not Holy Cross of Mintal.
All right. Okay.
Opo.
Okay.
Can I
May
ask?
question po, last, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes po,
Uh,
ma'am.
so when we have this Schoology, will are we still going to use like Meet or Zoom? Like, does this have a virtual meeting functionalities?
Opo, ma'am, may
Like,
features si Schoology na conference. So there's no
okay.
need for using another
Ah,
app for conference if ever there's a need.
so it can also do virtual meetings.
Yes
Okay.
po, ma'am. Meron po din.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes. My only concern, if ever there is the absence of that internet connection, how can the students or anybody adjust to the such a situation?
Mm.
Okay. How?
Halimbawa,
I don't know.
halimbawa po, naghina po, no?
Yes.
Internet.
That,
Mm-mm.
paminsan palagay natin nawala or whatever due to unknown reasons.
Mm.
How will the student adjust?
Well, we cannot we cannot avoid po that kind of ano po sir no pangyayari, but we are asynchronous po. We don't meet students virtually like this. So there are activities being given by teachers, and then the deadline would not be, if ever they posted it today, then the deadline would be today as well. Hindi po ganun mag-work ang ating modality. So they will be having an ample of time to work with that, especially if may mga problema po like this, the internet connection
Yes.
or brownout. Yan, sir.
Yes. So
Opo.
the another concern here is is about the internet connection. So, relative to that concern, I would just like to question something like how will or who will the students inform? Usually, it is what you call you are checking the attendance of the students here, right?
Mhm.
So if ever there's a loss of this internet, and how will the students, who will the student contact or inform that such an occurrence happen?
Well, sir, there is a contact number that will be given to them, the contact number of the teacher. So, kung gusto po niyang i-text si teacher, then pwede din po. Or when the internet will be, ready na, then she can or he can message the teacher using the messaging um, feature in the LMS pag okay na po yung internet. Actually,
So,
sir, do not
yeah.
worry about sabihin natin na kailangan mag-online ang anak ko kasi 9 o'clock. Paano yun? Nag-brown out. Diba?
Ganun,
Ganun po.
ganun.
Don't worry about that po, sir. Kasi hindi po ganun yung ating pag-check if the student is doing his or her work. Kasi meron tayong activities, pag na-comply niya, that means to say, he or she is working on it. Pag nag-brown out po, di naman po niya kasalanan, then in the evening po, pagbalik po ng kuryente, pwede niya pong gawin yung activity niya.
So, ang point dito, miss, is palagay natin na ganun lang nangyari. You are, bali ang mga questionnaires or whatever you call those things here, hindi sila mabigyan ng copy niyan. How will the student adjust to that, ma'am?
Sir, hindi naman po mawawala dun sa LMS yung in-upload ni teacher na activity. Andun pa rin po. Hindi po siya mawawala. So, out na 9 o'clock, bumalik po siya ng mga around 5 p.m. na po. Pwede po afternoon po, pag bumalik na po yung kuryente, pwede doon na po siya mag-work on sa kanyang activity po.
So, yung mga attendance nila, it's still okay. Basta inform ng ating teacher.
Opo. Lenient naman po tayo, sir, kasi we understand that we can't really avoid that kind of problem. So, hindi po tayo masyadong po when it comes to that. Basta lang po, yung bata is mag-inform lang din po if ever. Di naman po siguro magtatagal. Lang po talaga pag blackout, no? Kapag 24 hours blackout, ayun.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is already announced by the Davao Light naman pag may blackout. So, the school will be informed about it and the school will understand. And regarding naman po sa mga deadline, hindi naman po agad deadline agad-agad mamaya. So, pwede pa po niyang gawin yun kinabukasan para po hindi po siya ma-delay po sa kanyang mga gagawin na activity. Lenient lang po tayo, sir, kasi kawawa din po. Di naman natin control yung kuryente or yung internet, di ba po?
Takot lang ako, baka bigla ang ganun ka-stricto. So, medyo baka magpanik yung bata, tapos nandun ako sa trabaho and I cannot help her. Ganun ba?
Kasi kami din po, sir, di po namin maiwasan ang brownout din po, sir, di ba? Kami po sa school. Opo, mahirap din. Baka hindi po din kami makapag-update. Same lang po tayo ng situation. So, we will be understanding po.
So, inform lang kami, ma'am, kung if there are any adjustments or changes, no?
Oh, of course, sir, kung meron po tayong mga kailangan i-inform sa mga parents, may mga contact numbers naman po kami ninyo, then we can also inform you if ever.
Okay. Salamat masyado. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you din po.
Another thing, Miss Jam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, kasi as mentioned, blackouts and loss is inevitable. Paano yun? Like, LMS is, yun yung application, right? Correct ba? Yun yung downloadable from Play Store and iOS.
It's your choice po, ma'am, if you are going to use the downloaded app or you are going to use the browser to log in to our LMS.
Ganun. So, it's the same thing.
Same thing lang po.
Okay. So, then, pag nag-download yung bata, so pag nag-download yung bata, and then she can also use, my daughter could also access that pag nag-download, pag nag-browse lang siya.
Same lang
So
po.
she'll be using the same account and passwords, di ba?
Opo, ma'am.
So that
Same
can
lang
be
po.
accessible, right?
Opo, ma'am. Hindi alam ko lang po na hindi kaya ng application ay yung conference. I don't know if sir
Yes, definitely.
tama po, no? Pag
Yes,
naka-application ang bata, halimbawa naka-install yung application sa kanya, yung conference po na feature ay hindi po magagamit. Pero if yung browser yung gagamitin, yung conference ang magagamit or functional siya. Yun lang po pinagkaiba ng dalawa.
I see. So yung conference, ma'am, how often would that
Mhm.
happen?
It will happen, ma'am, if ever it's needed. If there's a consultation that needs to have a face-to-face, not virtual, face-to-face with teachers, then we will use the conference.
So,
Kung available naman din po, halimbawa ang internet, kaya naman din po niyang ipag-conference ang bata at ang teacher. Pero
so
you will be
then,
informed. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am?
that's the thing. So then you
Mm-mm.
will have to inform the parents.
Of course,
Na,
ma'am.
yeah, right. Kasi I'd be letting my daughter use a gadget eh. But then in the event that you would need to have a conference, then yeah, she can also have access to my Mac. So okay lang din yun.
Okay
Pero
lang po.
yeah, my concern is will a teacher be there like online with the students when you know they're doing certain activities? So
Yes po,
then
ma'am. Opo, opo.
so
Andyan
then
po
we will
siya.
yeah, so then
Yeah.
we will not have to reach out the teacher via
Ba
mobile
phone.
numbers,
Mm-mm.
right? Kasi they
Opo.
will be there online.
Kasi
Yeah.
po, halimbawa po, si math po ay Monday. Actually, si math teacher po, naka-online yan siya ng Monday.
Mm.
Opo. So, kagandahan po ng LMS is the student could immediately leave or directly message the teacher through the feature of the messaging. So, since
I
naman
see.
available naman si teacher on Monday, sample po, yung math, tsaka ano pa yung ibang subjects doon, then they could open the messenger and then reply to the student.
Messenger, you mean Messenger, Facebook Messenger?
Ano bang tawag doon, sir?
Or Messenger sa app mismo?
Yan. Yes.
Ano ba tawag
Definitely
yan, sir?
messaging din po.
Messaging. Ayun,
Yes.
messaging.
Messaging. And
Messaging.
the teacher will also be notified whenever the student will be submitting the discussion or output materials. He, the teacher will also be notified and they can give generous feedback immediately.
I see. So yung conference lang yung mangyayari sa browser, but then the messaging will be available in the app. Correct?
Just be muted first, all the participants, for us to have a good connectivity.
Okay, hello?
Ayan, I think we're okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sir Rex, going back to my question. Sa browser, the conference lang yung importante na mangyayari sa browser, correct? But then the messaging will be available dun mismo sa app,
Yes, definitely.
right?
Everything
So the
will
students can
be
reach out to their teachers.
yes, that's correct. Everything
Alright.
will be available in the application except the
For the
conferences or
conference.
the Zoom. The Zoom
Alright.
parang
Yeah.
ganun po.
Clear. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, kung available naman po yung conference app for conferencing kasi kailangan talaga mag-usap ng bata at ng teacher, doon na lang po nila yun na lang po yung gamitin. Pero I don't know with Schoology if ever it happened to them na merong mga technicalities like hindi mag-function yung ating conference sa Schoology, then maybe that's a time that we will have a plan B that they could use the Google Meet or whatever. Pero priority talaga yung Schoology lang talaga yung ating gamitin. Kung halimbawa lang po na hindi available kasi parang merong technicalities lang, siguro po magzo-Zoom sila or mag-Google Meet. Pero para po sa akin yung Schoology kung available yung ating conference, then they are going to use that. Anyway, it's not everyday naman po. Pag halimbawa lang kailangan talaga niya ng tulong at kailangan talaga niyang kausapin si teacher. Pwede din po si teacher magsabi po na, ma'am, pwede ko bang i-conference ang anak nyo kasi nakita ko po dun sa kanyang mga activities na ganito po ang result. So, either naman po sa atin yung parang merong option for that. Or yung bata naman sabihin, mama, pwede kaya ako makipag-conference kay teacher kasi ganito ganyan or she could directly message the teacher na teacher pwede bang mag-usap muna tayo kasi di ko talaga maintindihan yung activity. Maraming ano po, that's the way of how we do the conferencing.
Very clear. I wanted to add it po, na Schoology it's flexible for asynchronous learning and synchronous learning. Just like what Miss Jam mentioned, we have our own built-in video conferencing app. If the teacher wanted to talk to a specific student or a group of student or in a whole class, it can be done using the built-in function with a whiteboard and recording function in Schoology.
Mm.
And if they wanted to use the Zoom or any Google Meet, if they wanted to, just to have
Yes.
variation, they can just upload the link inside Schoology and the student can just click that link in order for them to join the conferences.
Mm.
Thank you,
So, but
sir.
the basic principle is it's a virtual classroom. It's just the classroom. It's an online classroom.
Yes,
Use the-
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
And
po.
then the advantage for the parents is we are now able to participate somehow inside the
By
classroom.
looking at it, opo.
Yeah, and which is more advantageous sa amin din the previous one where we don't really exactly know what's happening inside the classroom.
Yes,
Tama ba?
definitely. Yes, po.
Okay.
Kasi po, you have the idea on what is what is the quiz, ganun po. Yung yung
Yeah.
Hello,
performance
ma'am.
task na binigay, ganun.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Excuse me
sir,
po.
De La Cruz. Thank
Yes,
you, ma'am.
ma'am.
Sir,
Jam,
po.
may concern lang ko follow up doon yung kanina regarding sa brownout.
Mm-mm.
So hindi makakaapekto yung punctuality ng bata sa Schoology.
Ay,
So
hindi po,
halimbawa,
sir. Mm-mm.
kasi if I remember correct, nung parents orientation, di ba may kayong schedule dapat halimbawa 9 simula yung klase, di ba dapat 9 nandun na yung bata online
Opo,
na kasi
opo.
makikita nyo yung attendance nila, pero yung sabi ni sir kanina, yung what if kung mag-brown out, tapos sabi nyo is lenient naman ang school sa mga ganyan dahil hindi naman natin kontrolado. Gusto ko lang malinaw kung yung sa punctuality wala tayong issue doon, basta malate yung bata or mapaaga siya online, ang importante ba is comply niya yung
Na-comply.
required subject.
Correct po, sir. That's the po, exact word po. Basta na-comply lang po niya yung kanyang mga activities po kasi there's a deadline naman with those activities. Tsaka po, yun namang ibibigay namin na schedule for them is a study hour guide para po yung mga bata medyo control din nila ang kanilang study time, and at the same time they will also not be losing the routine that we have when we have our regular class po, 'di ba, na itong time na to ito yung gagawin, ganun. Pero pag may brownout talaga po, yung tama po talaga kayong dalawa, sir, na no, need talaga natin maging lenient for this time kasi hindi natin kontrolado.
Good po, ma'am.
Okay. Welcome po, sir. There's a enjoy. How many days for their activity deadline? Mostly po may 2 days po tayo. May 2 days po tayo. Kasi po yung ano po natin, yung sa amin naman po sa school, pag nag-upload si teacher ng ganitong araw, may isang araw pa po na ano tawag niyan? Time or allotment for her or him to give another activity. However, it also depends on the context of the activity. Di naman po pwede na bigyan agad siya ng deadline na ganito lang kaikli. Kung alam naman din ni teacher na medyo mahirap yung activity. So don't worry po, as the principal, my coordinators, some of my coordinators also are here. Actually po, kung kayo po ay nakakakita ng activity ng mga bata at ang kanilang mga deadline at kung ano-ano pa, kami din po ay nakikita namin ang lahat ng pinagpo-post pinaglalagay ng aming mga teachers. As in full detail, nakikita po namin. So we can also check. So para na lang din kami pong nag-o-observe din ng kanilang klase. Para din pong ganun yung aming setup po sa Schoology. Ayun. Not real time po, hindi po real time, kaya po asynchronous po. Tama po kayo, ma'am. Okay. Yes po, sir?
In relation sa question na yon, if ever na magkasakit ng estudyante, given palagay natin it will take time for her to cure,
Apo.
for the cure ba? So, how will the student cope up with all the activities?
Okay.
Parang paano niya ngayon ma-cope up yan? Is it required for her to call the teacher or your school or inform anybody? Ganyan?
Sir, same pa rin po na ginagawa natin sa regular class. Inform us po, halimbawa nagkasakit ang bata and syempre pangit din po na ano siya sa kanyang cellphone or computer tapos may sakit siya. Inform us po. Kasi kami din po sa school, matingala po ba ya or we will be wondering what happened to the student. Why is it na for the past days hindi talaga siya nakapag-online? 'Di ba sir, sir, na merong timestamp ang Schoology na malalaman ni teacher kung kailan siya last nag-login sa kanyang Schoology. So, kung halimbawa po, kayo po, pwede po kayong tumawag sa amin, mag-inform sa amin. Anyway, numbers are available naman. Or sometimes, pag halimbawa, kami din, magwa-wonder din po kami, bakit hindi nakasagot. So, we could also check in kung anong nangyari. Same pa rin po nung dati po, sir. Wala pong naman.
Sige. Thank you.
Opo, sir. In math subject, maybe a video from their teacher is important, or maybe a video conference is needed. I also agree with math. I also told my teacher that they can also record their discussion para merong access si kid, ang bata. Kung halimbawa hindi kayang mag-conference, meron siyang access sa video ni teacher para pag hindi niya masyadong naintindihan, pwede niyang i-pause tapos review ulit, rewind, tapos play ulit. Ganon. Thank you po sa suggestion, ma'am. Meron po ba tayong mga tanong, ma'am, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Parents po ito ni Ramil.
Okay, sir.
Ang question ko lang is it possible ba, sa brownout and then mawala yung brownout? Kasi yung ibang signals kasi hindi fix eh. So, paano po i-deal yan? Pambawa, nag-start yung klase tapos yung signal is not fixed. Paano ba ma-cope up ng student ko yan or ng mga estudyante para makuha nila lahat ng mga lessons nila pag yung signal is not fixed always eh. Minsan kasi nagtatrabaho ako online, tapos yung trabaho minsan nagfi-fix sa signal, tapos like ito, merong iba sa atin dito nakikinig medyo puto-puto yung mga signal nila. Paano mako-cope up ng student yon? Paano pag biglang mag-down yung signal or walang paano yung makukuha yung lesson
sir,
nila?
asynchronous naman po tayo. Hindi naman po ibig sabihin na pag hindi niya nasagutan yung activity for that particular time, so he or she can work out with it po within the time na the signal will be okay. Palagay ko po sa inyo malakas ang signal kapag gabi. Feeling ko po most of our areas po ganyan po yung ganyan po ang ating situation. Anyway, the Schoology is 24 hours open po. The student could really open the activities being prepared by the teacher kahit po anong oras. Pag ganun po ang ating problema. Okay po, sir?
Galit po. Usually, meron naman po kayong tawag nito, hotline and 24 hours. She said na 24 hours po, ma'am, di ba?
ang Schoology po ay open po siya ng 24 hours. Meaning po, kahit po mag-open si student ng 12:00 kasi malakas yung internet ng 12:00 or magsasabit na po siya, pwedeng-pwede po. Pero kung halimbawa yung tao naman po na gusto niyo po ma-communicate, the following day na po. Ayun, yung system lang po natin ang 24 hours na up. So, don't worry po.
So yung system lang and sa klase pag down doon sa system nang talagang mag-rely ganun po.
Ito po sir explain ko po sa inyo. Pag nag-download po si teacher ng kanyang upload pala po, naglagay ng activity po. Hindi po natin ibig sabihin na kailangan i-comply agad ni student yung kanyang activity na require. Pero halimbawa po, teka lang po maingay masyado. Ayan, naririnig po ba ako? Okay, off lang po nung microphone natin.
It's too loud. It's too loud.
Okay, off lang po. Ayan, salamat po. Ayun. Sige po. Ganito po 'yon. Pag mag-upload po si teacher ng activity po, halimbawa nag-upload siya ng araw na ito, nagkataon po na nag-brown out po sa inyo or yung internet po ninyo nagkaproblema, hindi po namin siya lalagyan ng absent kapag hindi siya naka-online ng oras na 'yan. Yung pong concern kasi ni Sir De La Cruz kanina ay yung ibibigay namin na schedule ng mga bata, which is just a help for them to budget their time for study. Pero hindi maiwasan yung technicality, sir, like brownout, signal ng internet ay nagloko, siguro umulan or natamaan ba ng kidlat or whatever, we will understand po. Kaya nga po, sabi ko po, asynchronous yung inadapt na school na modality kasi hindi siya real time. Hindi siya po siya kagaya nito na kapag hindi ka nakasagot ngayon ay absent ka na or wala ka ng points. Yun po. So don't worry po kapag may brown
Kaya nga may
out.
timbangan niya.
Timbangan. Yung yung brown out po ay hindi naman masyadong, I think it's not a problem. It's not a problem or the internet is not a problem. Basta available po siya within those days after after the time na specified ng school hindi pa rin po siya nakapag-internet. If mas malakas ang internet paggabi, then pagkagabi po niya gawin. We understand naman kasi na hindi po talaga ganun ka-steady ang ating internet connection sometimes. Okay po. Okay po, sir?
Okay, ma'am. Pero
Okay po, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, may magtanong lang sana ako kasi tungkol po dito sa pag-upload ng activities mo, yung mga assignments, mga quizzes. Based ba ito sa schedule ng subject? Halimbawa, kung math is 8
Monday,
to 9, doon ba ninyo i-upload rin yung assignments nila o sa anytime?
Opo. Yun po yung time din na mag-upload sila. For example, si Math ay nakaschedule ng Monday.
Yes.
So, primarily, si Math talaga, magbibigay talaga ng activity by Monday.
So wala kayong i-upload Saturday, Sunday? Yun
No
talaga
uploading sa Saturday, Sunday. Meron din kaming aming schedule, meron din kaming aming schedule sa school na susundin. Yung Saturday, Sunday po, time na po nila yun para i-check yung mga ginawa, yung mga activities, yung I understand na grade 11 ka, no? Okay.
Grade 8. Sa grade, yung anak ko po.
Apo. 9 o'clock, diba? 9 o'clock po, up na yung ating, anak, tapos nakapag-ready na po siya, and then nag-open siya ng kanyang LMS, ayun, expected na po siya na meron na din po siya doong new content na gagawin. Pero yung deadline po, sir, hindi po Monday. Yun po yung ikaklaro ko.
Depende.
It will really be day after, depende po sa task na ibibigay. Kaya po yung mga issues kanila ni sir na may brownout or may signal na problem, hindi masyado ganun ka-demanding yung activity kasi it will be there until siya mag-deadline, which is not in the exact day na kung kailan siya in-upload ni teacher.
Okay. Based po dito sa brownout, may additional po akong ditong question kasi Halimbawa pag may exam or quizzes tapos nag-umpisa na siya mga halimbawa 1 to 10 items. Pag naka-answer na siya ng 1 to 5 items, biglang mag-brown out, mag-stop ba dun sa 5 ang kanyang o pwede pa niya ituloy pag babalik yung kuryente?
Sir, pwede mo ba akong tulungan sa ganitong technicality kasi ito, sir? I cannot explain the setup of the quizzes, yung parang merong
Yes.
sige
Ayun.
daw, sir.
Yes, ang gaganda po ng mga question nila eh.
Oo nga po ang ganda ng audience natin ngayon.
But definitely po, everything, Schoology, it's flexible for that. And for asynchronous activity, just like what Miss Jam mentioned earlier, the school will be really flexible when it comes to the deadline. We will make sure that there is a leeway, there is a time for you to submit all of the activities. And once it is posted online, permanent na po yun nandun. So kahit pwede nyo pong i-download, pwede nyo din pong browse anytime. I.e., mute po muna yung ating mga participants na iba. And regarding naman po the quizzes, yes, kung saan po sila last na nag-submit ng task, doon po nila i-continue ito. And there's also a discretion of the teacher, discretion niya. If he will make it unsubmit or papasagutan niya ulit sa student, very flexible po kasi siya eh. Pwedeng lagyan ng time dahil sa connectivity issue natin na na-experience, pwedeng tanggalin yun. Tsaka kahit biglang mag-brown out, kung ano yung number na nasagutan na nila, doon na po i-continue ni bata po yun. Ayan.
As I understand din po during our orientation with the system, halimbawa talaga yung issue na gi-raise up ni sir, parang nawala yung sagot or parang naabtan siya deadline, for example, parang ganun because of the brownout. The teacher can republish the activity pero sa kanya lang po nakatag, hindi na po doon sa kanyang mga classmate na tapos na. Tama ako, sir, no?
Yes, we can do
Sir?
individually assigning of
Tama.
examination. Yes, we can
Assigning.
assign. So kahit sa iba pong mga activities, if we need to remediate, if we need to address a specific issue of a student, pwede po tayong mag-individually assign. Kasi ang real time po ang pagkuha ng result dito. Malalaman po agad natin kung saan yung learning difficulties ng bata and we can individually assign the materials. Regarding naman po sa examination, yan, pwede po tayong mag-assign individual sa student or po pwede po tayong mag-password protect para to make sure din po yung reliability and validity of the test result ay may measure din po tayo dito. Ayan.
Question, pwede?
Sino na una?
Relative dun sa mga tanong nyo. Sir, is the palagay natin questionnaire na answer ng bata to 1 to 6, is it automatically saved sa system or will the student still start from the very beginning pagpasok?
Automatic na po siyang masisave po sa system kung ano po yung last number na magaganda po yung tanong ninyo. Kung ano po yung last number na sinagutan niya, yun doon na po siya magko-continue. Hindi niya na po kailangan ulitin ito. Ayan.
So it will be at the same time reflected also there, no? Sa itong mismong sa system, no?
Yes po.
Yes, thank you. Maraming salamat po.
No problem po. Yes po.
Mga yung tips para sa as parents para ma-maximize na mo ang users kwan.
Parang they're looking for the primer, sir.
What are your key tips for parents for us to be able to make use of this Schoology as parents?
Yes.
Mga tips na.
Yes, it's a very good question because we will be doing things remotely talaga. Students will be away from the school, from the teacher, and we wanted to make sure that education will continue and must continue. And we will be targeting the MELCs po, no? The most essential learning competency. And we wanted to address the learning difficulty. For us to be able to bridge the gap, mahirap po talagang gawin yan, lalo na po ngayon. Now, yung tip ko po for the parents then, in order for us to maximize the usage of Schoology and in order for us to bridge the learning gap. And because I think in reality, there are students na grade 9 sila naka-enroll, but there are competencies na pang grade 7 lang, pang grade 8, and we wanted to address that learning gap. So kapag may nakita mute ko lang po yung iba po Ayan. If we see that they are struggling to a specific subject, if they have upcoming activities, makikita nyo po yun as a parent account. If they have upcoming activities, kindly just remind them, a simple reminder. Anak, you have a quiz tomorrow. Can you please review the activities that your teachers are posting? Kasi makikita nyo naman po doon kung anong specific subject po yung upcoming. Kung quiz man po yan, kung performance-based man po yan, kung mga written output-based po yan, o kaya video output-based, makikita nyo po doon yung activity. So just a simple reminder that even you're working, ma-remind nyo lang siya, no gadgets muna, no playing time, just for tonight, kasi you have upcoming examination tomorrow. So kahit yung mga simple reminder lang po yun, it means a lot na makakapag-communicate po tayo sa students natin, sa anak po natin specifically.
So it means we have to log in daily.
Not daily.
Make it a habit or
yes,
what?
Make it. It's a good question po, no. Pwede niyo na pong i-open na lang po yung notification na mag-i-email na lang po. Yan, magno-notify naman po sa inyo si Schoology na may pending activities po si bata. Ayan.
Okay. Thank you. Kasi bagong norm ito that we really have to learn as parents.
Tama po. And it's really understandable po. Yan, ang gaganda po nga ng mga tanong. It's really understandable to have anxiety and to be afraid. Kasi this is something really new. Not just in Davao, but in all the countries, this is something new na naka-online and remotely po talaga ang learning natin. But definitely, your school is ready at gumagamit pa kayo ng a central hub, Is Schoology, na nandito po lahat ng submissions, dito niya na lang po gagamitin sa isang platform ang lahat ng submission, ang delivery of the content sa isang platform lang din po, which is really reliable po. Kasi being used by all the countries, almost all of the countries are using Schoology then. Ayan.
Thank you. I think this is very useful, and we have to embrace these changes, no? And we have to learn and unlearn.
Yes, it requires. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It requires upskilling and reskilling of all the stakeholders. Lahat po talaga. Parang we are forced to bite the bullet and we are forced to embrace this change. We don't want it to, but we have to because this is the new normal na po. And thank you for attending the parent orientation so that you will be having an idea on how we can move forward and how can we help the child, your child, in order for us to bridge the learning gap and address and go forward in education po. Ayan.
Yeah.
Tapos may mag-upload pa naman din po tayo ng mga instructional videos.
Yeah. Sige.
Ayan po. Ayan.
Thank you.
Sir, excited na ako, sir. Hindi, bukas na magsimula.
may another tip ako doon kina ma'am. Sa inyo din po. Di ba we have books? And then you are aware naman din ano yung pinaglalagay ng teacher doon, ano yung libro na babasahin, ano yung activity, ano yung lesson. Then you have also the idea kung saan doon po banda sa libro, dapat nilang pag-aralan or kung mag-study sila, yun. Walang ligtas kasi if ever the teacher will post a pointers, syempre digital na po yung pointers, andun po, nalakalagay sa announcement. Then, alam niyo po kung ano po yung mga coverages na kailangan pag-aralan ng mga bata.
Yeah, Miss Jam.
Opo, ma'am.
Yung pala yung question ko kasi 'di ba may books sila.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the same thing, yung books tsaka yung LMS. So LMS will, that's the tool you have to use for quizzes and exams. Pero basically, they still have to read the books, correct?
Correct po, ma'am. Yes po, ma'am.
Got it. Thank you.
Yan. Magaganda po ang tanong. Books will be really the foundational curriculum or content that we will be using, because of
Oo.
course the modality, the connectivity here in the Philippines, it's not really reliable, kaya siya po talaga yung foundational content that we will be using, and the supplementary and other educational resources that we will be needing, mga activities sa Schoology po lahat yon. Parang ito po yung magiging centralized location of everything in the teaching and learning process. Not just the parents will be using it, but most importantly, the students and the teacher can communicate and can help each other in order for us to continue in education. Ayan po. Ayun, I think meron pa pong isa na lang pong tanong dito. Kung galing daw po ba sa school yung mga text? Yes. Ayan.
Okay. Opo. Right now po kasi may mga parents pa po na undecided. Sorry po kung nakaka-receive kayo ng text blast namin na. Pero kayo po decided na po na naka-LMS po ang mga bata. So just ignore it. Meron pa kasi kaming kino-contact ng mga parents na we don't know if they prefer LMS or yung mag-printed kits. So we wanted to know so that we know how many will be into LMS kasi po babayaran natin sa Schoology. Tapos how many will be into learning kit or yung printed kasi we will be having the production of the materials pa. So ayun, we have to know kasi baka naman po pag start ng klase, hanapan po kami ng material ang wala pong nakalagay doon kung online ba ang bata or printed. Kaya we are trying our best now po to contact all the parents. Kaya po nadadamay po kayo kasi system generated po yung aming mga text. Pasensya na po kagabi kasi parang nakadisturbo po yata yung text namin. Ayun. Pero please po, if ever nandito po yung mga parents na medyo naguguluhan pa, at least upon the discussion that we have right now, you will be able to know also the beauty of having online modality for students. Hindi lang po ito para sa mga pagko-conference po na kagaya nito. Actually, it's just a way of making learning fun and exciting. Pati po nga kayo, excited na din po kayo, 'di ba? Excited po yung mga bata. Oo. Excited din yung mga bata na buksan sa LMS, makakita ng mga video, gumagalaw, may mga music, gano'n. Yan po.
Miss Jam, another thing.
Yes po, ma'am.
Yeah, kasi initially, when I attended the orientation a few days back, akala ko kasi yung content ng books are also uploaded dun sa LMS.
No po.
Am I correct? No?
Hindi po. Opo.
So what are the things that they can see there?
The activities po. The activities po,
Alone, right?
teacher book-based or teacher-made po. Pero those reading materials, yung mga ano tawag yan, concept, andun po sa libro.
I see. Kasi initially, I didn't like the online kasi I wanted my daughter to be exposed with books. Iba kasi yung effect nun sa bata when she's reading, printed books rather than electronic, diba? But then, yeah, it's good to know that it's not like that. Thank you.
Opo. Yes, ma'am. Yung books po available na po for claiming po.
Yeah. Yung dalawang books na kulang niya?
I don't know with the lacking books po. What grade are you po? Grade 9 po ba?
Oh, no, grade 8. I'm sorry, I was not
Grade
able to attend the earlier orientation.
Okay pa.
I was, feeling disposed.
I think there were 2 books that is not yet ready. So, yung mga libro po na available pa yung pong mga libro na nakuha nyo na po. So, yung iba po
Okay.
hindi pa po nakakuha ng mga libro kahit isa, kindly bring your receipt na lang po doon sa library po natin para makuha po ninyo. Wala po kaming e-books po. Hindi po kami, parang I personally don't like e-books din. Ako po.
High five.
And I know with ma'am ha, although we adopted the LMS, but I personally did not like e-books. I still prefer printed
Okay.
one as something that they are going to read and to scan. For the LMS naman, they are going to do their creativity there, pero pag libro, doon nila babasahin yung content ng lesson. Ayun. Tsaka yung e-books po, mahirap din po kahit po e-book, hindi po basta-basta na ibibigay lang sa atin yung soft copy kasi I already inquire regarding that na kung ano yung gagawin pag halimbawa soft copy yung aming kukunin, hindi talaga yung printed. meron pa rin po palang application na ano tawag yan, i-install. So parang, ay wag na kasi parang maguguluhan lang ang mga bata and ang mga parents, no? So we prefer the printed one. Ayun. Regarding po with the books, if ever you're asking if magamit pa po ba yung libro last school, bring it to the librarian muna po ha, kasi baka may libro tayo na update and meron po tayong isang libro yata na napalitan. Pero if ever good pa po yung libro, para na lang po din matulungan po tayo sa ating mga financial, 'di ba? Sa financial status natin. Then, the librarian is open for scanning the books para siya po ang magsabi na okay pa po ito, pwede pa itong gamitin. Okay? Yung Christian Living, hindi pa available, ma'am. Pwede po Monday to Saturday, kaso kung Saturday half day lang po ang pagkuha ng libro. Okay. Actually po, tapos na po nung June ang distribution schedule nila. Pero kung hindi pa po talaga kayo nakakuha, then you can go there po. Just observe mo po yung protocol natin po, yung mask, yung no entry, no mask, Okay po. Sige. May mga tanong pa po ba regarding our LMS? Wala na si sir? Okay.
None po.
Okay. If ever may concern pa po, anyway, you can email or pasensya na po, hindi masyadong na-address agad yung inyong mga queries, but we are trying our best to answer emails and chats in the inbox po ha. Pero kung gusto talaga ninyong may tawagan, yung mga hotline numbers naman po ay binibigay ng ating Facebook page sa inyo para directly ninyo ma-address yung concern po. Okay. Yes po, Saturday, half day lang po ang aming school. Okay. Wala na po bang tanong?
None.
Wala na po yata, sir.
So thank you for having me here today and thank you so much. Ayan. So we will be scheduling na lang po the orientation and even the login credentials. Kindly ask the school po and when will it be. Rest assured, we will be conducting student orientation po so that they will know how to navigate the system. And thank you for all the parents who attended.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. More
Salamat
power.
po, ma'am, sir.
Thank you po, Ma'am Jo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holy Cross.
You can start leaving the meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye-bye.
Bye.